Welcome. Today, we journey not across continents but through time, exploring countries that have vanished from the map. These lost nations, though gone, left legacies etched in landscapes and cultures, shaping the world we know. Imagine walking the streets of a forgotten capital, or standing on shores once claimed by kingdoms now erased by history. As we explore 10 remarkable places, we celebrate not just what was lost, but what endures. Let our journey begin. Our first stop is Prussia, a kingdom steeped in history and intrigue, a land that once held sway over much of Central Europe, a name once synonymous with power, discipline, and military might. The very mention of Prussia conjures images of perfectly aligned soldiers and unwavering resolve. Born from the Teutonic Knights, a medieval order of warrior monks, Prussia's origins are rooted in conquest and expansion. Prussia rose from humble Baltic origins, gradually expanding its territory and influence to eventually unify Germany and reshape the entire landscape of Europe. Its ascent was nothing short of remarkable. Under Frederick the Great, the kingdom reached its zenith. It became a beacon of enlightenment, a center for arts, philosophy, and scientific advancement. Blending formidable military might with cultural sophistication, Prussia presented a unique and compelling image to the world. Berlin transformed into a vibrant metropolis, a hub of innovation and intellectual exchange, and the Prussian ethos of order, efficiency, and progress still echoes strongly in German culture today, shaping its identity and values. Yet after the devastation of World War II, Prussia was dissolved, its very existence erased from the map. Its lands were divided among Germany, its former territories absorbed into the new nation. Poland, reclaiming lands lost centuries before, and Russia, expanding its sphere of influence westward. The name faded from common usage, relegated to history books and academic studies. But its legacy, a complex tapestry of both enlightenment and militarism, remains inextricably woven into the fabric of Central Europe. Prussia's story is a stark reminder that even the mightiest kingdoms are ultimately fleeting, subject to the relentless tides of time and change. Its spirit lingers, however, in the grand architecture, the meticulous engineering, and the very idea of duty, discipline, and unwavering progress that continues to inspire generations. To walk these lands today is to feel the profound weight of history pressing down. A sense of grandeur, tinged with sorrow and the undeniable reality of transformation. Prussia, as a political entity, is gone, but its influence endures, subtly shaping the world we inhabit. The rise and fall of Prussia teaches us valuable lessons about the impermanence of power and the cyclical nature of history. Even vanished nations like Prussia leave indelible marks on the world, shaping our present and influencing our future in ways we may not even realize. Our journey takes us next to Yugoslavia, a land steeped in history and complexity, a nation forged from the crucible of empires, rising from the ashes of what came before. Yugoslavia was an ambitious experiment, uniting a mosaic of diverse cultures and ethnicities under the banner of a single flag. For decades within its borders, Serbs, Croats, Bosnians, Slovenes, Macedonians, and Montenegrins coexisted, each with their unique heritage and traditions. They lived side by side, sharing streets, schools, and dreams for the future. They were united by the ideal of brotherhood and unity, a powerful slogan that aimed to transcend ethnic divides. Under the firm hand of Tito, a fragile peace was maintained, a delicate balance achieved through strong leadership. But after his death, the carefully constructed edifice began to crumble, and old tensions, long suppressed, resurfaced with a vengeance. The 1990s witnessed the tragic unraveling of Yugoslavia, descending into a series of brutal and devastating wars. Cities like Sarajevo were besieged, their streets transformed into battlegrounds, their inhabitants enduring unimaginable suffering. Families were torn apart, scattered across borders, their lives irrevocably shattered by the violence. Today, in place of one unified nation, 7 independent countries stand, each charting its own course. Yet, the scars of conflict remain etched on the landscape and in the collective memory of its people. A sense of Yugo nostalgia lingers in the air, a poignant longing for a lost era of unity and relative peace. Traveling through these lands today, one encounters both remarkable resilience and undeniable beauty, but there is also the haunting presence of a vanished country, a constant reminder of what once was. The story of Yugoslavia serves as a solemn lesson, illustrating how quickly unity can fracture and descend into discord. It reminds us of the fragility of peace and how precious it truly is, a treasure to be guarded and nurtured. The ghost of Yugoslavia endures, not only in memory but also in the enduring hope for reconciliation and lasting peace in the region. In Central Europe, Czechoslovakia's story offers a rare, peaceful ending. Formed in 1918, it united Czechs and Slovaks through war, occupation and communism. Prague and Bratislava thrived as cultural centers, and the Velvet Revolution of 1989 brought freedom without bloodshed. With independence came the Velvet Divorce. Czechoslovakia split peacefully into the Czech Republic and Slovakia in 1993. No conflict, just mutual respect and friendship. Today, the two nations remain close, sharing open borders and deep ties. Their story shows that separation can be an act of dignity, not defeat. Czechoslovakia's legacy is one of resilience and evolution. Endings can be hopeful, and partnerships can transform. The spirit of unity lives on in both countries. The Ottoman Empire once bridged continents, cultures and faiths for over 6 centuries. At its height, it stretched from Vienna to the Persian Gulf, with Istanbul as its dazzling heart. The empire's millet system allowed diverse peoples to coexist, creating a rich, multicultural tapestry. But by the 19th century, nationalism and internal strife weakened its foundations. World War I dealt the final blow. The empire dissolved, and modern Turkey emerged from its ashes. The Ottoman legacy lives on in architecture, cuisine and music across dozens of nations. Its influence is felt in Sarajevo's mosques, Athens' food and Cairo's music. The empire is gone, but its cultural resonance shapes identities to this day. The Ottomans remind us that empires fall, but their echoes endure. History's giants leave footprints that never fade. Across the Pacific, the Kingdom of Hawaii was once a proud, independent nation. Hawaiian culture thrived, rooted in the land and the spirit of aloha. Foreign interests, disease, and political ambition eroded its sovereignty. In 1893, Queen Liliuokalani was overthrown in a coup backed by the US, and Hawaii was annexed. The kingdom vanished, its people's voice silenced, and their lands taken. Today, Hawaii is a US state, but the spirit of the kingdom endures in language, culture, and memory. Movements to revive Hawaiian identity grow stronger. To visit Hawaii is to sense a proud past beneath the paradise. The aloha spirit survives unextinguished. The USSR, born from revolution, became a superpower that defined the 20th century. It promised a workers' paradise, but delivered both achievement and repression. The Soviet Union's reach spanned 11 time zones, shaping global politics, science, and war. Yet, beneath the surface, economic stagnation and a longing for freedom grew. Gorbachev's reforms unleashed forces that led to the USSR's peaceful collapse in 1991. 15 new nations emerged, and the red flag was lowered for the last time. The Soviet legacy is visible in architecture, politics, and memory. For some, its end brought freedom. For others, chaos and loss. The shadow of the USSR still shapes our world. High in the Himalayas, Tibet nurtured a unique Buddhist culture under the Dalai Lama. Isolated and peaceful, Tibet's monasteries and traditions flourished for centuries. In 1950, China invaded, promising autonomy but imposing harsh rule. The Dalai Lama fled into exile after a failed uprising, and Tibet's culture faced destruction. Monasteries were razed and Tibetan identity was threatened by forced assimilation. Yet the idea of Tibet survives in its diaspora and the resilience of its people. The Dalai Lama's advocacy keeps hope alive for meaningful autonomy. Tibet's story is one of spiritual endurance against overwhelming odds. Its spirit endures, a symbol of survival and hope. East Germany, born from post-war division, became a symbol of the Cold War. The Berlin Wall split families and a nation, embodying repression and longing for freedom. Life in the GDR was marked by surveillance but also by community and resilience. The desire for liberty persisted, fueling daring escapes and quiet resistance. In 1989, mass protests led to the wall's fall, an eruption of joy and reunification. East Germany dissolved not by war but by the will of its people. The story of the GDR reminds us that walls cannot contain the human spirit. Freedom's call is unstoppable. The legacy of division is a lesson in hope. Sikkim, a tiny Himalayan kingdom, thrived for centuries under its Chogyal kings. Its culture blended Tibetan Buddhism and indigenous traditions, set against breathtaking peaks. Sikkim balanced independence with powerful neighbors, becoming a British, then Indian, protectorate. In the 1970s, internal unrest and outside pressure led to a disputed referendum. Sikkim was absorbed into India, its monarchy abolished, and its unique identity altered. Today, Sikkim prospers as an Indian state, but nostalgia for the lost kingdom lingers. Its story is a quiet reminder of how small nations can vanish amid larger powers' ambitions. The spirit of Sikkim whispers in the mountains, lost, but not forgotten. Venice, a city unlike any other, a jewel shimmering on the Adriatic. Once the most serene republic, a powerful maritime state, ruled the seas for 1,000 years, its influence stretching across the Mediterranean. Built on a lagoon, an intricate network of canals and islands, it became a hub of trade, a crossroads of cultures and commerce. A center for art, where masterpieces were created and innovation, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Governed by the Doge, the elected ruler, and intricate councils, a complex system of checks and balances. Its navy and merchants dominated the Mediterranean, controlling vital trade routes and amassing immense wealth. And its wealth fueled a cultural golden age, a period of unparalleled artistic and intellectual flourishing. The city's splendor, a testament to its power and prestige, St. Mark's Square, the heart of Venice, a gathering place for citizens and visitors alike. The Doge's palace, a symbol of Venetian authority and grandeur, testifies to its former glory, a reminder of its rich history and cultural legacy. But new trade routes, shifting global dynamics and rising rivals eroded Venice's power, slowly diminishing its influence on the world stage. In 1797, facing Napoleon and his advancing army, the Republic dissolved after a millennium of independence, marking the end of an era. Venice became a city of beauty and nostalgia, a place of romance and reflection, its political power gone, but its cultural significance enduring. To glide through its canals aboard a traditional gondola is to drift through a living museum of a lost nation, a journey back in time. Venice's story is a reminder, a poignant lesson from history, that even the most enduring powers are subject to history's tides, constantly changing and evolving. The city remains, a beacon of art and architecture, a testament to resilience and change, forever captivating the hearts of those who visit. Our journey ends, but the stories of these vanished lands live on. They remind us that the world's borders are ever-changing and history is alive within us. By remembering, we honor the hopes and dreams of those who came before. Let us carry these stories forward, keeping their echoes alive. The spirit of lost nations endures in our collective memory.